Hello everyone, today is September 18th, 2024 in the great Midwest of the USA. This is Andrew Byrne, again to drop some of those nuggets of knowledge for everybody. Sorry I've been gone for a while, had some personal issues I had to take care of regarding my family. One of my loved ones had faltered and we had to get him back on track, and he's doing good now, so everything's going good. Lucifer is very cunning in everything he does. He's very systematic at what he does. He breaks you down little by little. As long as you give him a ledge to step his foot on into your life, he'll take it. That's all he needs to spread like a cancer and get to you through one of your family members or loved ones or significant other. Many people fall away from the faith due to that way. It's always very strategic. And it's so gradual that you don't even notice it before it's too late. And if you've been away from the faith for years, if not decades, every second on this earth is a gift from here on out. We are on borrowed time, as you'd say. The end is here. It's not if it's here or when, it's now. It is here. I proved that in Revelation 12, chapter 1 through 9. We've been in Revelation since at least 2017, September 23rd, and that has been, unfortunately, 7 years from now. So, almost 7 years from the day. So we were definitely in tribulation. I truly don't believe there's 7 full years of tribulation, or at least 7 years left. I think this whole situation is going to end very fast. I don't see the second coming of Christ taking 7 more years. I think it could be anywhere between March of next year or probably all the way to maybe 2030. Maybe. But I really don't see it with everything that's happening and how fast everything's happening and how far along they are in the plan, especially with the destruction and infiltration of America. That's the hardest part of this whole system that they're running. Their biggest goal is the destruction of America, and they've almost conquered us already from the inside out. We've brought it from the inside out for a long time. They've already just pushed the buttons lately. And you can see it with all these illegal immigrants coming in. I'd say there's about 30 million of them now. We got about probably 5 million in for the last 2 months. That's how fast they're pouring in. They're coming from the north, the south, the east and west as well. They're coming from the shoreline every day and nightly. They're everywhere. I am not racist or anything. I believe any immigrant deserves a right to have a life inside or outside of their country, an opportunity to live and live a nice, productive, healthy life. Unfortunately, the people that are pouring in are not that nice and cultured, and they come to destroy America. They're usually military-aged men. They come here hating us from birth. They've been trained to infiltrate, kill, and destroy as soon as they get into this country, and there are hundreds of thousands of these people, if not millions. I think there's at least 2 or 3 million of them. I think there's about 300,000, 350,000 alone communist Chinese soldiers, the best of the best, that are here. And whatever call they get or sign, they're activated. They're going to do some serious damage. And I believe there's 2 or 3 Chinese super soldiers in every community or neighborhood in this country. They're sitting in their house training or getting ready to be activated any second. I personally know of 2 that live in the area I live in. I know they're here, and I know what they're here for. I can tell the way they move, act, and how OCD they are. They're definitely military trained, and they're very antisocial, and you can tell they're here for a job, and they all live by themselves. You might see one every now and then live with a wife and a child that's very It's not even like real. It's like they're like machines. They show no emotion, no love. They don't hug, they don't kiss. It's like a mechanical partnership. It's really weird. When I go through Costco or BJ's, which are wholesale clubs where I live, it's all immigrants, all EBT cards, and none of them speak English. And it's pretty insane because I live in a very rich community. The average income here is $180,000, yet it is being poured with immigration. Most immigrants here are Indian to Chinese. We're starting to see a lot more South Americans. They just can't afford to live here. They're taking up all those apartments now, but their funding's depleting, guys. They might have $15,000 on their food card and $7,000 on their welfare card they can withdraw money at, but the money's not coming in anymore. They have excess money to last them if they're very secure at what they do and they're very smart. They could probably maintain their living standards for about 2 or 3 more months tops, and after that they got to struggle, break the law, or work under the table to survive. And there's not many jobs here in this area to survive without a college degree or at least citizenship. They don't mess around here. You can maybe do landscaping or some type of manual labor here, but they're very harsh here in the Midwest. They don't just let anyone work and do whatever they want. So these people literally in this country relying on the government 100%. Most of them don't have work visas or any way to maintain a living. And I feel sorry for the ones that are actually here with their families trying to provide a life for them and their children, because they came from Venezuela or another South American or Central American country that our CIA, our government, destroyed. Because I'll tell you what, the USA, a lot of these immigrants coming from these third world, second world countries, their countries have been destroyed by us on purpose. Like Haiti, a lot of African countries like Nigeria, Niger, Ethiopia, Somalia, a lot of the Middle East, as we know, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, all these countries, and all South and Central America. Our country has literally infiltrated every government, and if they don't like the leader they have, they destroy the government brick by brick, and then they put their own leader, install their own leader in, like the president of Brazil. It's disgusting, and they systematically destroy that country so they can put them in debt with our fake Federal Reserve money and have them under our boot on the back of their neck for the next 100 years in debt. And it's disgusting. Our country's been doing this to every country in the world for generations now, ever since World War II at least. And these people are coming for a chance to live, and we're the country. Our greedy politicians and our alphabet agencies are the ones that cause the chaos and destruction to make them have to move in the first place, like Venezuela. Venezuela was infiltrated by our CIA. We pummeled their government. We destroyed their currency, and now they're forcing them to use the American Federal Reserve dollar. And their people couldn't work. They had no economy, no infrastructure, and they became lazy. Our government gave their government handouts and money to maintain their infrastructure for about 10 to 20 years. I don't know how long, could be longer. And the people quit working, and they just relied on our government to pay their government to maintain their infrastructure and to do our policies and to have our boot on their neck. And they gladly just laid back and didn't work and got government aid, almost 85% of their whole population. And now since the money ran out in Venezuela, we don't give them any money anymore. And their economy's jump-starting now because they went away from the Federal Reserve dollar. And then they gutted all their prisons and mental asylums, made them come north. And all the lazy Venezuelans that don't want to work or do anything for the last decade or raise his children not to work and be lazy and break the law and be criminals, they're all coming north to North America to destroy our infrastructure. They're professional, lazy, worthless people. I'm sorry to say it, man. There's a lot of good people that come from Central America and South America, but for a lot of these people take advantage of every opportunity and situation they get, and they're unethical in every way they maneuver in life, and they don't have any sympathy or empathy for anyone, and they're narcissistic sociopaths, and they'll do whatever it takes to earn a buck. And you can see that in the way they live. There's a lot of Haitians, a lot of African men that have no respect for women, and they do what they want. It's a very barbaric way of life in their countries, and it shows in the way they live their lives here. Like, you hear about people eating cats and geese and all this stuff, and people's pets. That's common in Haiti. They eat cats. They'll eat whatever they can there. They don't care. If they see a goose in the pond, that's fair game to them, guys. They could have $7,000 on their food stamps. If they see a way to make a quick, healthy, natural goose on the pond to eat, they're gonna take it out and eat it. It's the way they live. They're not here to integrate with our culture. They're here to live the way they want to live. They think we're suckers and idiots, and they feel like they have a right to be paid to come here. They were promised by the George Soros Foundation and his funding to come here, and they're gonna get free room and board. We have streets paved in gold, and everything's free and top notch. They're all promised this in their home country, and then they come here through their financing of George Soros and these evil cabal members that own the Federal Reserve. It's just paper monopoly money, so they hand it out like it's monopoly money, and they finance these people from to leave their country, no matter where it is in the world, and they somehow get to our border. They could be from Sudan, and they probably had $100 in their name their whole freaking lives, but somehow they have $1,000 to get here, and another $3,000 for the coyotes to get them over the border. It's through Soros and the Federal Reserve. This is all planned, guys. This is a very well-ran operation. It's a fine-tuned machine. This isn't by mistake. There's waves and waves of them coming in. And there's more coming in now than ever, because the game's over. Biden and his evil regime is about to lose power, because no one's going to give stupid Coyote Harris, Cackle and Harris, the keys to the city, the throne. No one's that dumb. Obama knows if he gives her the keys, she's not going to listen to a word he says, and she's too dumb to even be a puppet. That's how dumb she is. She has slept her way to the top. She's never provided this country with anything. She's never passed a law. She's never done anything in government. She's never benefited this country in any way. She's just a succubus, and she's a lying, cackling fool. She's just a dumb demon in a meat suit that can't control itself. I feel sorry for her handler, because they got their hands full with that one. She's just a crazy, psychotic witch. That's all she is. She's a demon in a meat suit. An ancient deity in a meat suit that tries its best to act like it's human, but it is not. Trump's not much better, but he's better than her. But these immigrants are coming in. They're just not coming in here. They're coming in every Western culture country, all throughout Europe and everywhere that has a Western culture and ideas and a democracy or republic. They're coming to that country and they're destroying it, little by little. Like England is toast. Wales is toast. The British Isles are toast. Ireland's toast. They are overran with immigrants. And these aren't just nice children and women looking for a life and work and a new chance. These are military-aged men that are brutal. A lot of them are Muslim. They're Islamic. So they believe in their religion, and if you're not in a Muslim or Islamic branch or denomination, you are seen as an adversary. And if you don't join the Islam or Muslim religion or culture, they want you dead. That's what they preach. That's what they practice. It's their way or the highway. They give you one opportunity to join them. We are infidels to them. We are their enemies, especially Christians. One thing about Catholics and Muslims is they're going to unite in the end times with the beast systems activated, and they're going to be doing all the beheading and all the searching and predatorial. You're going to have these predatorial groups that are just going to go out and look for every Christian they can a paid blood of Christian, and they're going to behead them, kill them, and torture them in the streets. The Catholics and the Islams are going to unite under Chrislam, a one world religion that the Pope's already indoctrinated and officially regulated as a real religion in Dubai, I believe. And it's that religion or the highway, guys. It's got Muslim and little Roman Catholicism mixed up in one. And it's going to be taught everywhere. And if you don't denounce Jesus, the Son of God, and Christ himself, you're going to be beheaded, tortured, and killed. It's that simple. And all these immigrants are overflooding every country in this world that has Western culture, has democracy, freedom of speech, freedom to practice religion, and they're taking advantage of it. You go to London, England, every government leader there is a Muslim. They just infiltrated every form of government and every form of society through police system to judicial system. It's all Muslim and Islam. They hold every seat of power you could think of in London. That's why London is so dangerous to live in now. It used to be this perfectly nice, pristine country, well ran, well respected, very safe, very cultural, great people. Now it's overran with a bunch of criminals, a bunch of immigrants that will stab you. There's hundreds of stabbings there every day. And it's one of the most dangerous cities ever to live in, which you never would have thought in a million years. It's worse than damn near living in Chicago, Chirac. And Chicago's a shithole now because of all the criminality there. And now these South American gang members are infiltrating all these African American gang areas, and there's going to be turf battles. And no offense, but African American criminal organizations have no chance in hell against these South American cartels. No chance. These cartels are ran like a fine-tuned military. They will wipe out all these disorganized gangs from inner cities in a matter of days if they wanted to. Just a matter of time. Most of these gang members, African American gang members, they're just going to leave their neighborhood unless they have to stay there and nowhere to go, but they're going to get blown out real quick and they're done, they're toast. That's why you see all this crime and shooting. A lot of these cartels are just going to pay off a lot of these tougher African American gangs, just play along with them, but they're going to take the reins of the operation. You know, a lot of these motorcycle gangs are already in on it. They're working with the cartels. It's just all about the money, man. It's not about, but some people are going to stand up and put America first, but most criminals, they'll always put the money over honor any day of the week, unfortunately. What they're trying to start is a race war. They tried to start it with the immigrants and the African Americans, and it didn't work. They first started with whites and blacks. Of course, that will never work, so because we see through that. That racism doesn't exist. No one's going to tolerate that or put up with that. And then they started the immigrants with African Americans right now, and then they're just going to start having immigrants rape and pillage all the youth in America through high schools. A lot of these cartel members are going into high schools across our country because they're very young, and they're infiltrating these high schools. And they're going to start taking advantage of the women and the young kids in these schools because these are modern day criminals. They're demons in meat suits. They're not even human beings. They're the worst of the worst. They're going to infiltrate these high schools, take advantage of every opportunity they can. You're going to start seeing high school shootings and a whole bunch of robbings of high school merchandise like computers, iPhones. Bullying's going to intensify. It's going to be awful, guys. America has been injected with the most deadly cancer you can ever imagine in a syringe. And it was just injected into us. And it's just a matter of time before we are terminally ill and we die a quick and painful death. That's what has happened to America. So everyone buckle in. We are out of time. Every day that you have with your family or loved ones, appreciate it. give God the glory, because every second matters, and it is a gift from the Most High himself, because we are on borrowed time. There's no way in hell to expect a fair and mild election. There's going to be cheating on every what way. There's going to be mass riots no matter who wins. All these insurgents are in our country, ready to go in a drop of a hat. And on top of that, we have Russia salivating, ready to go to war with America. They're waiting for North Korea to shoot the first ballistic hypersonic missile to the U.S. and wipe out New York City or Miami through Cuba, whichever one Russia decides to go. Russia doesn't want to be the culprit of the first nuclear warhead, so they're going to use North Korea as the fall guy. It's been a plan the whole time. And if North Korea doesn't do what they say, they're just going to have Iran be the fall guy if North Korea is not willing and capable to do the job first and foremost. But Iran, China, North Korea, and Russia are all in it together. They're a dominant military. They're very ready to go. They're pretty much unstoppable. They're like an immovable force. They're about to go head to head with the U.S. military. England's a joke. They're our allies, but they're going to be wiped out way before we will. We're pretty much going to watch the whole destruction of Europe first, and then they're going to just go for our jugular right away, right after. It's going to be very quick and sudden and efficient. So everybody, keep guard, protect your family, friends, and loved ones. Start reading the Word. You have got to start putting the Word on Audible on your iPhone through YouTube, or there's a Holy Bible app, which is free. It does all the book audibly. So if you're doing something, you can still listen. You've got to have the Word of God to edify your soul and your mind at this moment. Because if you turn on the news or turn on some crap on YouTube, it's just going to blacken and darken your soul. And it's going to get you in a spirit that you're not ready to be in. You have got to be like ready to go at all times. We are going to be raptured, yes, but we are going to experience some hardships and some serious, crazy stuff before. We're going to see the zombie apocalypse start. We're going to see World War III start before we leave. We're going to see the destruction of Miami and New York City before we go. We're going to go up right when that happens. We're going to see the Civil War, guys. Our country has fallen already. We are destroyed. It is already over. China has already said that they've taken over Taiwan. Taiwan's already accepted their surrender, or they already accepted that China's going to take them out. And they've surrendered to China. The U.S. already knows all this. The U.S. can do nothing about it. It's over. All of our allies have turned against us. Mexico and Canada have turned their backs against us. Canada's been working with China for over 20 years. They actually have training grounds for Chinese soldiers in Canada for almost 20 years, guys. They got hundreds of thousands of well-trained soldiers ready to infiltrate us at any second in Canada. Right along our border, they got probably 20 training camps. Trudeau's a commie. Kamala Harris, Waltz, they're all communists. That's what they are. They're all one big communist family. This has been planned the whole time, guys. Trudeau is Castro's son. Fidel Castro's son. You look at Fidel Castro when he was young, he looks identical to Trudeau because it's his son. That's his father. He's been raised communist his whole life. He's known his role and his duty and his future ever since he was a kid. He was never going to be a teacher full time. He's going to be a punk bitch politician and be told what to do and sell out the whole Western civilization. That's what he's done. He sold us and Canada out. I feel bad for the Canadian citizens, man. I feel bad for Canada and Australia, man. Those two places were sold out with the drop of a hat. America's the only last standing hope, and we're going to be destroyed really quick. It's just over, guys. It's not about our country. It's about humanity. I know you're proud to be an American and all that stuff, and I get it. I was once too, but it's not about that. It's about humanity as a whole. It's about the suffering children and innocent women and the elderly that are suffering right now and suffering in the future. And it's up to us, the fighters, the true Christians, to stand up and fight against this tyranny. We're going to have to fight against natural disasters. We're going to have to fight against alien invasion, interdimensional aliens, not interstellar, interdimensional. We're going to have to fight against all these inner Earth aliens and monsters. Every time a monster you can think of lives below our feet. This Earth's like got so many caverns. You could fit the whole Atlantic Ocean in one cavern underneath our feet in inner Earth. That's how big these caverns are, guys. They have their own ecosystem. There is a sun in the middle of our planet that feeds this ecosystem and all these caverns underneath our feet. It's like King Kong. It's pretty much exactly like it shows in King Kong and Godzilla movies, but the only difference is there's a real sun in the middle of our Earth, and it feeds this all these different ecosystems. And the monsters that live in inner Earth, there's a lot more of them, and there's a lot different types of species. You're gonna start seeing dinosaurs all over the place. As soon as this 12.0 earthquake hits Earth and destroys almost every building on the planet, on the crust, and it's going to go on for about 30 minutes, 34 minutes. You're going to see all these species when the Earth cracks open, all these dinosaurs, werewolves, trolls, goblins, fairies, you name it, they're coming out of these cracks, guys. And it's going to be crazy. You're going to see news channels, people on their phones videotaping stuff you couldn't even imagine. You're going to see 50-foot giants, 500-foot titans running around going 500 miles an hour, running through cities and people like they're nothing. It's going to be insane. This is going to happen all at once. As soon as that starts happening, Lucifer and his Galactic Federation army is going to come down and pretend they saved the day when they're the worst of the worst. They're the children of all these monsters and demons. We're going to be hit from every what way. On top of that, we got to worry about China and Russia and everyone invading us. On top of us having our own civil war. It's going to be insane. That's how Lucifer does it. He throws the kitchen sink at you. He disorients you so much, you don't even know what's up or down. You can't fight something you don't know about, or you don't even know where it is coming at you. That's how he rolls, man. There's no rules in warfare. The only problem is God himself wrote it from the end to the beginning. So there's no tricks that Lucifer can pull. He's like a retarded cockroach to God. He's nothing. Literally, Christ himself comes down in the second coming and destroys all the armies of the world and intergalactic armies, because they all unite together to fight in the Valley of Armageddon. And he destroys them all with one word. Like they're like dust. There's going to be a 7-mile long trail of carcasses, like 8 feet high, 7 miles, in that valley, rotting. Every bird you can think of in this world is going to be feasting on those bodies for weeks, if not months. It's going to be insane. As long as you have God in your mind, heart, and soul, you're untouchable. If you're lost and you're practicing witchcraft or some bull crap, or you're selfish and a narcissist and you have like 10 facelifts and you care about yourself and only yourself and how you look and how much money you have and all the material things you possess, you're going to be suffering and you're not going to make it. You're going to blink your eye and you're going to be dead in hell not knowing what happened. How awful would that be? All you have to do is ask God to save your soul. I told you how to do it. It's simple. Christ lived on this earth 33 years, perfect without sin. He evangelized his word, the New Testament. He died on the cross, innocent, for your sins. Rose again from the third day, from death back to life, to evangelize 40 more days on earth with his apostles. Rose in a cloud to heaven the 40th day, sit on the right hand of his Father, God Yahuwah, For he is the true Son of God, and that is his rightful place, the right hand of God. He said, watch, for earth is my footstool, and the earth is his footstool. It's the diamond, the pearl of the claim of this universe. It's the most sought after planet in the whole universe. Everything starts here, especially in Jerusalem and Israel. That is the center of the whole universe, and that is God's footstool. That's why everybody wants it. It's not only Russia or China want it. Every alien race or interdimensional monster race wants Jerusalem. It's Christ's home. It's his kingdom. It's the center of the whole universe. They want this earth, and yet more, they want Jerusalem. It's not Russia and China that want it so much. It's Lucifer and all his fallen angels. They want it. Why do they want it? Because Christ owns it. And that's his most prized possession. This is the greatest story ever told and written, and you're in it. You are a character in this book. Appreciate it. Live righteously. Be on the right winning team. So I'm going to tell you what, if you're on the wrong team, you will be burning in a lake of fire for the rest of your life and through onto eternity, forever. 100 years, 1,000 years is nothing compared to eternity. Get off your high horse. Quit worrying about how much money you make, what you look like, what you do. Me. I'm a victim. Get over it. You're a child of God. Start acting like it. You gotta live every day for Christ, not you, for Christ. First thing you do when you wake up is you give God praise. All throughout the day, you repent and live for Christ. When you go to bed, you repent and give your life to Christ. It's very simple. Christ created you. He owns you. He knows every hair on your head. He has them numbered. He created you. But you're too selfish and egotistical to give him 5 minutes of your day in gratitude and show him how much you care and appreciate what he's done for you. It's time to wake up. Jesus is knocking. Answer.